Hey everyone, what's going on? The Pocket Moggers here. Hope you're doing well today. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you don't mind, I'd like to borrow your ear for a minute here and chat with you about the top five Sega franchises I'd like to see come back, or at least the ones that haven't been announced yet that I'd like to see come back. Crazy Taxi is one of my favorites, but they've already announced that. Golden Axe is one of my favorites. They've already announced that. Shinobi is one of my favorites. They just gave us a new one. It's fantastic. So these are the ones that haven't had any sort of announcements around them yet. One of them, I do have to say, one of them might have something in the works. I've heard some things about it, but I don't know. I'm not an insider. I'm not even a journalist. I'm just a fan, but I have heard things from people about one of the things that I have in here. We'll get into that a little later. This video came about because of the excellent Stranger Than Heaven trailer that came out, that Yakuza prequel that just looks fantastic. I have heard that there's some controversy around that. I need to do my due diligence. I don't want to comment on it yet because I don't know the whole story there. Um, but the trailer itself looked fantastic. So seeing that made me think, yeah, why not talk about Sega for a little bit? So here we go. So a very short and sweet number five here. It's Virtua Tennis. It's been about 15 years since the last one. I think it was like 2012 or something like that. And I think it's due for a new entry. The Virtua Tennis um, for the Dreamcast was just transformative for me when it came to sports games, and especially for tennis emulators. It was incredible. It's just so easy to quick to pick up. There we go. That's what I meant to say. And really fun to play too. I mean, you can just get out there and just start having a blast. It really is a super fun game. So, um, I would really like to see Sega bring this back sometime in the near future, and I'm hoping that we hear some news about Virtua Tennis soon. What do you all think? If you're a big fan of Max Dude, I love Max Dude's channel. He plays Virtua Tennis over there a lot, and that's also helped my love for the franchise continue to grow. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Virtua Tennis here. So my number four choice is Comic Zone. Comic Zone was a super fun and unique take on the platforming, and there's a little bit of fighting and beat 'em up and stuff like that thrown in there too. But it was just for the time a pretty unique interpretation of some standard video game genres that had existed, and I would love to see more from it. This is the one that I mentioned earlier that might have something going on. I've heard from some sources that a new Comic Zone might be coming down the pipe at some point, but that's all I've heard. I don't think there's anything official related to it, so I'm gonna put it on here anyway and just say, hey, here's hoping we get some news about Comic Zone soon. What do you all think? So my number three choice is Seaman, not the super best friend, mind you, but the semi-obscure microphone voice virtual pet game for the Dreamcast and PS2, Seaman. This game is strange. I really like it, but it's odd. So it's definitely not for every single Sega fan or every virtual pet kind of person. But I do recommend giving it a shot if you're into those kinds of games. You might find yourself having a good time. I do think that it's really, really, really time for a new one of these, just because the virtual pet uh, trend is kind of big now. And I think that Seaman could really bring some life and personality into that, especially since Sega doesn't seem interested in doing anything with the Chow Garden over in Sonic. I definitely think now is a great time to throw another one in there, or a different one rather, a different virtual pet for people. I think Seaman could take that void, be Sega's new pet. But what do you guys think? Do y'all remember Seaman? It's, like I said, it's been a PS2 times since one of those came out. The Earth was without shape or form at that point. So I don't know how many people remember Seaman, but if you do, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see another one form for us sometime in the near future. My number two title that I'd love to see, or rather franchise that I'd love to see come back, is Knights. Knights just really blew me away as a kid when I first saw it in the mid 90s. I mean, just flying around like that in levels. I had never considered something like that in a game before. In later games like Panzer Dragoon and Star Fox would show me even more of that, or rather, later for me, would show me even more of the possibility with that kind of stuff. But the characters, the music, the vibe that it gives off, Knights is just really special. I almost like it more than Sonic itself. It's kind of Sega's magnum, or well, not Sega, but Sonic Team's magnum opus, in my opinion. It really is a great game. The second one on the Wii, Journey of Dreams, I did play that too. I didn't like it as much, but I didn't hate it either. I think it's a solid like B minus sort of game. It's cool, but there hasn't been anything in the pipe for Knights since then. I'd love to see something fresh come out of the oven for the series. What do you guys think? How do y'all feel about it? Would you like to see a new Knights come to fruition? Excuse me. Sorry, I'm stuttering today, and I have no idea why. And my number one choice, it predates even me. It's an arcade classic named Space Harrier. I love it. I can't get enough of playing it, despite being booty cheeks at it. I'll never give up. It's just great. I don't know how many people are familiar with this series, and that's totally fair. I don't expect most people on YouTube today, especially, to know much about arcade games from the 80s and 90s, but this is one of the few that got me to spend the precious allowance that I made doing some chores at the arcade, and then really get into Sega, and then eventually just into gaming in general. So it's got a special place in my heart. Hideki Kamiya, who many of you may know from Bayonetta and Devil May Cry and Wonderful 101 and many other games, to say the least, was first introduced into gaming himself from Space Harrier. So if you're curious about older arcade games and just enjoy that kind of stuff, I would recommend giving Space Harrier a try. You might find that you like it. So yeah, that's my final choice. What do y'all think? Do you have a title that you think deserves this number one spot instead? If so, please let me know below. I'd love to hear it from you. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for your time. Like I said earlier, this was inspired by the Stranger Than Heaven video. So it's just a quick little thing. I've got many other videos about other titles. Not too many about Sega, but my Super Smash Bros. Video does mention a couple of Sega characters I'd like to see. So if you're into Sega, feel free to check that out. Excuse me, guys. Just very quickly, I don't own Sega or any of its properties. This was just for fun, if it's fair use, and all rights belong to the creators, and the rights holders, of course. With that out of the way, thank you so much for your time. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. This was written on Saturday, May 9th. It may not come out during the weekend, so have a great week if it comes out during that time. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me today. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.